flex. Buckle up and join the best. Let's City relieve your stress. So yes, let the music soothe the soul and keep it going just to refresh. Buckle and enjoy the ride from 2 to the half of the 5. Mondays to Fridays happening live. Where we gon' have a ball, you can text your guys. Let me tell you what you really gotta do. You can count on us, we come through. We got everything you need, that's true. Are you ready for the traffic avenue? Let me tell you what you really gotta do. You can count on us, we come through. We got everything you need, that's true. An applause for the traffic avenue.
Traffic Avenue, the show for me and you. Mondays to Fridays, ooh, the Traffic Avenue. Traffic Avenue, the show for me and you. Mondays to Fridays, ooh, Traffic Avenue, oh yeah.
Detailed news, unparalleled coverage. City News on 97.3 FM.
Eyewitness News. Be there as it happens.
City News.
It's 17:30 GMT. This is Eyewitness News on 97.3 Citi FM. I am Umaru Sanda Amadu. Tonight, I'm here with
Inu Safo.
And coming up over the next 90 minutes.
And therefore, people may see the city depreciating fast recently. If you compare the depreciation year to date, from January to date, the city has depreciated by about 14.2%. Same time last year, it depreciated by 20.7%.
The cedi has depreciated, but it has not been as bad in this year, 2024. That's a seemingly content statement from the Finance Minister, Dr. Amin Anta. We have more from his monthly updates on the economy here on Eyewitness News, plus reactions. Also coming up, NDC Volta region up in arms in Hohwe over what it says are attempts to register foreigners onto the voters register. Meanwhile, the Electoral Commission has extended the registration by 2 days. And later on Eyewitness News, the High Court in Accra has rendered moot an application for an injunction seeking to prevent organizers of the Dumsor Vigil from converging on the Revolution Square. This is because the demonstrators have decided to change their venue. We'll tell you what their new venue is. Stay with 97.3 Citi FM for more on this and many other stories on Eyewitness News. And in business,
government assures of expediting.
In the Volta region, we are live on Akpini Radio 96.7 in Pando and Heritage 107.3 in Hohwe. In the northern region, we are on Dasuma 99.1 FM in Yendi. In Upper East, we are on Word 88.3 FM in Zuarungu. In Upper West, we are on Westlink 88.1 FM in Laura. And in the Northeast region, we are on Eagle FM 94.1 in Wale Wale. We are also on YouTube. Look for City Tube. We are also on Facebook. Look for Citi FM. We are interactive. 0549 986 996. That's our WhatsApp number. 0549 986 996. On Twitter, now known as X, follow the hashtag City Newsroom. Send a message to @Umaru or @City973. We're also live on citynewsroom.com and do use any of these platforms. Let the world know what you think, plus also get to listen to Eyewitness News and also see what's happening here in the studios. My name is Umaru Sanda. I'm bringing you Eyewitness News from number 11, Dr. Martin Loop in Adabraka in Accra. And I'm here with Eno Safo, who brings us our first story.
The government is expediting efforts to stabilize the city amidst the recent free fall of the currency against major trading currencies such as the dollar. Addressing a news conference today, Finance Minister Dr. Mohamed Amin Adam highlighted collaborative measures with the Bank of Ghana to improve forex interventions. The Finance Minister reassured of the city's resilience, emphasizing sufficient forex supply.
Growth turned out to be more resilient and robust in 2023 than initially programmed, as GDP grew by 2.9% compared to the original projection of 1.5% and the revised projection of 2.3%. We expect growth to continue its upward trajectory to average 5% in the medium term as we implement our growth strategy under the PCPED, supported by the revival of Ghana's industrialization drive, modernization of agriculture with a focus on value addition to create economic and employment opportunities, as well as SME growth and financing. Inflation is declining. Headline inflation declined by 31 percentage points from 54.1% at the end of 2022 to 23.2% at the end of December 2023. This was before inflation inched up slightly to 25.8% in March 2024, due largely to base effect, but we have seen it trending downward again. The downward trend is expected to continue over the medium-term horizon, with inflation returning to the target band of 8 plus or minus 2% by 2025. This will be largely achieved because of the fiscal consolidation efforts of government, tight monetary policy, exchange rate stability, as well as improved food production, local food production. Gross international reserves is also improving and now stands at $6.2 billion, covering 2.7 months of import cover at the end of February 2024, compared to 5.9 billion in the corresponding period of 2022. Gross international reserve is expected to improve to cover at least 4.4 months of import cover in the medium term, to be supported by external inflows from the IMF, the World Bank, and other development partners. The government's Gold for Oil program, the BOG's Gold for Reserve program, as well as the cocoa syndicated funds. But for recent pressures we are seeing on the exchange rate movement, ladies and gentlemen, the exchange rate has been largely stabilized over some time, with the depreciation of the cedi against the US dollar halving from 54.2% at the end of November 2022 to 27.8% at the end of December 2023. The cedi's stability has continued into 2024 with a cumulative depreciation of 14.2% as of May 20th, 2024, compared to 20.7% recorded in the same period in 2023. And therefore, people may see the cedi depreciating fast recently. If you compare the depreciation year to date, from January to date, the cedi has depreciated by about 14.2%. Same time last year, it depreciated by 20.7%. On that, comparative basis, we are safe to conclude that the cedi is still strong, very strong. We expect the stability to improve into the medium term as we complete debt restructuring, as we make progress on fiscal consolidation, and as we improve on our reserves over the medium term. The recent pressures on the cedi that I have referred to are largely as a result of the strengthening of the US dollar against major trading currencies across the world, including ours. And therefore, we expect that as the U.S. currency also moderates in its strength, the effect will be felt on our currency. Another reason is the seasonal forex demand, including elevated demand from corporate institutions. Then also, we have paid contractors.
Dr. Amin Adam further indicated the government's resolve to stick with its post-COVID-19 program for economic growth to align with IMF targets.
We will continue to implement strong and ambitious structural reforms in other areas of public resource or public financial management, including tax policy, revenue administration, and other relevant reforms that will support the structural strengthening of our economy, as well as helping to address structural weaknesses and to enhance our resilience to shocks. Ladies and gentlemen, we are making remarkable progress towards restoration of macroeconomic stability and economic recovery. And we are not going to relent in spite of the fiscal pressures, including security spending to maintain peace and order. We are determined to hold the line to ensure that we meet our fiscal targets for the year. We will not hesitate to make any necessary adjustment that will ensure that we do not deviate from the fiscal path.
Dr. Mohammed Amin Adam is Finance Minister.
This Eyewitness News on 97.3 Citi FM. We are coming to you from our studios in Adabraka in Accra. We are also live around the globe on citynewsroom.com. We'll be analyzing the statements that were made by the Finance Minister, suggesting that things are not good, but they are not as bad as they were last year. So they call it year on year. He's saying to us there that the cedi is depreciating, but compared to last year, the same period, the depreciation last year was 20%. This year, it is 14%. So he's assured and assuring us too that the cedi is still strong despite all the hurdles we are seeing. However, if you are someone who buys forex or engage in importing, or you are into the business of exchanging money every now and then for the transaction of business, let us know how this is affecting you. If you're an importer, let us know how this is affecting you. Send us a message 0549 986 996. 0549 986 996. Do send us, and then we would let the world know what you think, plus also some reactions and analysis coming up later. But for now, let's do some politics. The National Communications Officer of the NDC, Sami Jemfi, has dared the Attorney General Godfred Yeboah-Damin to provide proof that the minority leader Ato Forson begged him to drop the case against him. Ato Forson is facing trial over allegations of causing financial loss to the state in the procurement of ambulances worth 2.1 million euros. In response to claims by the third accused person, Richard Jakpa, that the AG tried to influence him to testify against the minority leader, the AG alleged that Ato Forson earlier made attempts to have the case dropped. But speaking on the City Breakfast Show with Bernard Avle, Sami Jemfi vehemently denied the allegations. Listen to him.
And we are daring Godfred Yeboah-Damin. And this will be my last point, Bernard. We are daring him. We are saying Ato Forson has never met you anywhere, Godfred Damin, to plead with you to drop the case against him. If he did, it will even be an offense. And as a responsible Attorney General, you should have spoken about it then, and you should have taken him on then under the law. You didn't do that because he never did that. You are only raising this as a red herring to divert attention. If you have the evidence, Bernard Avle is waiting for you. Bring the evidence today. Don't wait. Bring it today to prove to the world that Ato Forson came to you to beg you to drop a case, which in itself will not be wrong or lawful. But we are saying you have no such evidence. And we are daring you to bring the evidence if you claim you have it. There is a public interest, angle of the matter. Then there is a legal aspect of the matter, which is what is being heard by the court. Now, we think that it is in the interest of the public for us to know what this Attorney General has been up to, his modus operandi, which we've been talking about. And the evidence will shock you because it is not just about Attorney General. It is about higher ups in the judiciary. It is about close associates of the president. And when we put that evidence out, you will see the desperate length that some of these people go just to pervert the course of justice. And all the allegations we've been making about judicial manipulations and all that, you will see the smoking gun to that. And so the public interest consideration in this matter, in my opinion, far outweigh even the legal consideration in this matter, which is just the interest of Atuforsen versus the Republic. This is very important. Look, we would need judicial reform as a result of this matter. Even reforms about how prosecution is done in this country when you see the whole gamut of evidence we have, which we'll be putting out. So we don't think that it will in any way prejudice or undermine the case of first accused. His lawyers have the right to bring an application for mistrial. I know they will be studying that option and they exercise it. I cannot speak for them.
So that's Sami Jemfi, he's National Communications Officer of the opposition NDC. Recall yesterday we spoke to the spokesperson of the Attorney General, Isaac Wilberforce-Mensah, and now a challenge has been thrown out there to the Attorney General to bring evidence which is contained in paragraph 6 of his statement yesterday, which statement said that Atuforsen had come to beg him to drop the case and that he had video evidence. So we awaited the video evidence from the Attorney General. We also await the video and audio evidence that the NDC has to support Mr. Jakpa's case, that there was a meeting, a clandestine one, with the Attorney General, in which the Attorney General was coercing the third accused person to help him nail Atuforsen, the minority leader, who is the first accused person in this particular case. This is Eyewitness News on 97.3 Citi FM. Let's do something related to the registration exercise, and it appears that there's some disagreement in the Hohwe constituency. Prosper Kumi is the NDC secretary for Hohwe. He's joined us on the line, and I also have on the other line Abednego Hari. He's first vice chairman of the MPP for Hohwe. The information is that there's some importation of foreigners to come and register. Let's start with the NDC. Prosper, you're welcome to Eyewitness News.
Good evening, Omaro.
Good evening to you. What is this issue that you're raising about foreigners being brought in from Togo to come and register? That is typically an allegation that comes against you as a party from the NDC. I recall when John Peter Mewu was the regional chairman, it was a big issue at the time that you were bringing Togolese to come and register in Hohwe. How is the table turning? Tell us more.
Umaru, good evening to your listeners. I don't want to do the history of the time. I'm interested in what it is that is happening today. So in those days of where John Peter Mewu was accusing NDC of foreigners, I don't want to go there in any form or shape. The law makes it clear relating to the directives and the CI that makes room for the registration exercise. That there are some people who may not qualify in one way or the other to register. And as part of those people who may not qualify to register include foreigners. It is clear in our laws, it is clear with the CI that we are using, and it is also clear even with the District Registration Review Committee setting directives. So it is only based on some of those laws and regulations guiding the registration exercise that we depend on to get people who are not qualified under what it is that we see, what we suspect, the evidence we have, to do what it is that the law says we should do when they come to register.
Okay, so let's talk about the specifics. So who are these people and what was the questions you had about their eligibility?
So, Hohwe constituency had one main registration center and two mobile registration centers. One was clearly cited as Litoji. That is a community quite far from the ground communities in Hohwe constituency. And it is based on their hard to reach that they were picked. We had issues with it in terms of security, We had issues as far as a border priority, but the Electoral Commission was clear in their mind that because it's an area that is hard to reach, they had to reach them and register. What we noticed is that, before the registration exercise, we did some few background checks to understand the number of people who turned 18 and possibly will turn 18 around the same period of registration. And the numbers that we have were very low, less than 20 people at the time when we were. But when we got there for the mobile registration for 2 days, there was a lot of bursting into the community from the neighboring Togo communities. When you pick communities like Tain Kapa, Tain Kujiraga, Tain Tidrame, Tain Ispa, all those areas were areas that are border Togo communities, Chadome, Agotine Kofe, all those areas were border communities, not as Togolese, that were being passed in to register. And at least the face value of the evidence we had on that, we decided to use the law in getting to them.
So, were they physically being bussed and brought to the centers, or they came individually to register? How was the modus operandi?
There was a mass clear busing. There was a clear mass busing of the people.
Did you see the buses?
Oh yes, we saw pickups that were moving people from the community. You see Ghanaian numbers of these pickups found in those communities, busing the people from the Togo communities to Bulitoji for them to register.
About how many people were being brought in, based on the estimates you have?
I am not able to tell the exact the numbers of people in terms of if estimate. We had 2 days registration, and the total number of people who went through the process, even though challenged, were about the first day we had 155, and then the second day 199. Yes.
So you challenged 155 and 199.
No, 63 people had their card successfully because they had Ghana cards. Even though we have some of them who had Ghana cards who were actually not Ghanaians. But because they had Ghana cards at the time, it was difficult to say that a person is not a Ghanaian. But our further investigations are revealing a lot of things. In the coming days, I believe that Hoko is an area to watch out for when it comes to some of these situations. We challenged a lot of them, even though they went through the process. Beyond that, a lot of them that were bussed in also could not register because it was a 2 days registration exercise. And also, some are being bussed to the Hokwe registration center itself. Sometimes when we are asked, what is your evidence? How do you know they are not Ghanaians? If the law wouldn't have made provision for foreigners in the registration, identification of foreigners in the registration exercise, if that was not available. If you see somebody who cannot clearly communicate where he comes from, somebody who cannot clearly communicate about the necessary ingredients that are needed for you to register in terms of house number, where the community they are coming from, they cannot speak any language that relates to us out here. People are out of their age and they mention it to you in French. I don't know what evidence more people want us to produce to be able to ascertain the fact that these people are foreigners. Yes, people will ask you how their birth certificate, do you have any other document in relation to that? How do I get a document of somebody who has just come to register? Am I going to force the person to get the document? So I don't know, but these were some of the signs, these were some of the signals we picked on the people, we interacted with the people, and you clearly see that it was a clear form of busing to register foreigners onto the register.
Did you also have questions about their ethnicity and perhaps religion? Was that also part of the reasons you used to reject them?
Umaru, you see the challenge we have, I don't know, I was at a workshop yesterday and I was mentioning this thing as a challenge. The agents of political parties are being expected to do more they are expecting more from agents of political parties. But the positioning of electoral commission about agents is quite worrying, in the sense that electoral commission will not allow you have full access to the registration processes clearly. For example, if people arrive at the center and they are seated, and you also want to interrogate and understand where they come from, who they are, and those things, they'll tell you that is not their role. That is not your role.
Okay, but my question was about ethnicity, religion. Were these some of the things you use as reasons to object to their citizenship?
If they are ethnicity,
I'm asking if one of your reasons for objecting to them, beyond the fact that you say they crossed the border, did you also question them, or did you object to them because of their ethnic groups and their religion?
No. There was no challenge based on people's religiosity and ethnicity. The only provision made by the law of challenging a foreigner was what we followed. I don't think anybody can say.
I'm not familiar with Ohwe, but I do know areas like Agotime Kwetwe, and I do know Ketu South, and I do know how there is a cross-border relationship. Indeed, in Agotime Kwetwe, the chief is a chief for communities in both countries, and when you cross the border, you don't even know. I also do know that in areas like Ketu South, the CFA franc and the CD are used interchangeably in communities that are borderline communities. It is one of the arguments you have made as a party in the past when you were accused of registering foreigners. You said that these are people who lived in the same home, went to the same schools, shared the same farms, shared the same chiefs, and that they were Ghanaians. That has always been a big debate and an argument between your party and the NPP. Now, if this same thing is thrown at you now about these people you are challenging, what would be your response, considering that there's precedence and that precedence was actually started by you?
Umaru, like I said earlier, I really do not want to dwell in the past as to what accusation was leveled against NDP, if it is true or not.
But the past is very important for us to look at the future. If in the past that was an argument you made, which argument was sustained in most of the cases, how come you are departing from that argument now?
Umaru, you have access to that information as you are stating it. You have access to that information as you are stating it as in the past. For me, what I'm saying today, there are laws that are clearly defining who a foreigner is and not to register. And those are what we are sticking to.
Very well.
We are not sticking to any law. And moreover, I didn't talk about Agotime Kwetwe. I am talking about a community in Togo called Agotime Kofe.
I know. I was using Agotime Kwetwe as a reference point and Ketu South. Yes, I didn't say you said that. Anyway, if you could kindly indulge me, I want to go on the other line and speak to Abednego so that I'll get a response from that. So Abednego Hari is the first vice chairman of the NPP in Hohwe. Sir, you're welcome to Eyewitness News. The allegation against your party is that you have brought foreigners from Togo to come and register in Litoji in the Hohwe constituency. How do you plead?
Thank you very much, Mr. Sanders, and good evening to your listeners and viewers. It is very strange. It is very strange that the NDC will today tend to accuse MPP of registering Togolese in the water region, and I hope we are to be specific. Very, very strange, but I am not surprised. Umaru, before this registration exercise began, the NDC held press conference in Hawkeye here, and the secretary you just spoke to made it clear that if somebody don't come from Hawkeye municipality, the person has no right to register. The person's name shouldn't enter into the Hawkeye register. Meanwhile, he himself is not from Hawkeye. He's from Likwebala, I know. And a whole lot of things that they did earlier.
Sorry, and Likwebala is in which constituency or municipality?
Guan
Guan district. Okay, continue.
Meanwhile, he has his name in the Hawkeye register. He hasn't got anything wrong with that. It is not true that the people of Britoji are Togolese. Britoji is a Ghanaian community, but it's not easily accessible. Before you go to Britoji, you have to go through Kametonu, which borders Togo, or Ikpa, which also is a Togo community. But it's a Ghanaian community. And a whole lot of villages surrounding Britoji. This Agotime Kope that he mentioned is a Ghanaian town. The town is, or the village is owned by the people of Buledi traditional area. Likewise, Chadome. You see, so if they create a mobile center at Britoji, and the people behind the mountain who are Ghanaians are going there to register, what is the crime with that? What is the crime with that?
The crime is that the NDC says these are people who are not Ghanaians. When they question them, basic information like house number they do not have, and even when they mention it's in the territory of Togo, even the language, when you talk to them, they respond in French. And again, you've gone with pickups, government registered pickups or Ghana number registered pickups, and you've been bringing these people en masse to register. That's a crime.
Omaro, it is not true. It is not true. You know the secret. You know, Honorable John Amewu's mother happened to come from Britoji. So if you could remember, when he was a Water Regional Chairman, the NDC used to accuse him of being a Togolese. Even recently, their parliamentary candidate granted media interview and labeled both his mother and father as being Togolese. So because of the fear of Amewu's mother comes from Britoji, they anticipated that if many people register, they will come and vote for Honorable John Peter Amewu. And that is what is causing the anxiety in their camp. But it is not true that MPP people have made it their project to bus Togolese to the registration center. Omaru, let me give you a scenario. On the 10th and 11th of this May, the hometown of the NDC parliamentary candidate, Olajo Cheku, Alavanyo, there was a mobile registration over there. Over 300 people registered. Not even a single person was challenged by the MPP. But when he got to the turn of Britoji, which happened to be the hometown of John Peter Amewu's mother, the NDC challenged over 300 people who have gone there to register. You could see clearly. So it's the fear of Peter Amewu that if the people got registered, they will come and vote for him. You see, and not that MPP is registering Togolese. Even the whole registration center, they are still challenging Muslims and Northerners. As soon as somebody appears there and is in the Muslim dress, they challenge the one.
Who is doing this challenge, and where exactly are they doing?
The NDC agents at the whole registration center. Many people who go to the registration center for Hogwazongo to go and register were challenged. They are challenged by the NDC.
And the reason is that they are what?
No, they are not Muslims. They are Muslims. If they get registered, they will vote for Bawumia. You understand me? That is what the NDC is engaged in. That is what they are engaged in Hogwa here. So, no matter all that, he is telling you it's a figment of his own imagination. You hear that he is telling you that he doesn't want to go to the past. He doesn't want to read any history, what. No. They are apprehensive that Honorable Peter Amewu, will win again. As a result, they must use every means to discredit him, to disgrace him, or to find excuse. They are finding excuses, but I'm telling you, before God and man, that MPP has never undertaken the project to register even one Togolese.
Very well. By the way, did you try to help transport people to the registration centers?
we transport people from schools, secondary schools that are in the constituency, that are far away from Hawkway.
Apart from secondary schools, did you or do you transport people from communities that are hard to reach to the registration centers?
Communities like Bledi and Fodome, yes, they are every. They are also a bit far away from Hawkway. I think transportation in and out will cost one around 35 to 40 cities. So both NDC and MPP, we transport those people to come and do their cast and go back, transport them back. NDC is engaging, MPP is engaging.
Is it possible that these vehicles on their way to the Ghana side to make sure these people register, they may go through Togolese communities? Is it possible?
No. If from where you go straight to Bledi, Evely, or Fodome, or Alavanyo, these are the 5 traditional areas, and none of these towns are behind the Togo border. They are all within Ghana.
Very well.
It is only Vlitodi that is behind the border, but it's a Ghana town.
Very well. Thank you so much for speaking to us.
Thank you, Omaru.
That's Abednego Harry. He's first vice chairman of the MPP in the Hawkway constituency. Prosper Kumi is the NDC constituency secretary for Hawkway. He's still on the line. Prosper, you've had the vice chair there. He says whatever you are saying is a figment of your imagination. The people who are registering are Ghanaians, but you are simply running away from your shadows, and you are afraid that the Honorable John Pierre Amewu is going to reclaim the seat or win the seat again, and that's why you are preventing people like Muslims and Northerners from registering. What do you say to that?
Okay, Umaru, challenges are part of the process. I don't know why they are so jittery. They are shouting today because when we went for IPAC meeting, we laid down our concerns about information we picked on how MPP wants to infiltrate the system with foreigners. They said that the only process that is available to us if we feel that there are foreigners that are going to be registered is to pick challenge forms. We have picked the challenge forms against the people and using the processes that will take the people's names out of the register. And that is what it is that they are jittery about. I don't know what it is that it says we are jittery about. And Omar, I need to establish, we have never lost Zongo community in the whole constituency. John Dramani Mahama, as our candidate, presidential candidate, has never lost Zongo community, for which today somebody will ever think that registering Muslims, that is a pure lie, wicked propaganda from a propagandist who thinks that by using ethnicity you will achieve whatever it is you want to achieve. Today, as we speak, the people who are supporting us strongly on the ground in terms of identifying some of these foreigners, in terms of being there for the party, are these our Muslim brothers and sisters? Is it telling me that our Muslim brothers and sisters cannot identify their own register and help to register them? It is the Hawkway Zongo is one of the biggest in the country, and the people of Zongo, the Muslims, are fully behind us. I don't know where he is coming from with this ethnicity thing that he wants to stoke. And it's unfortunate that a vice chairman of a party will want to do this to a whole community. Umaru, for me, whoever qualifies is for who must register. And we are only simply following the law as established by the CI and by the Constitution of Ghana as to who to register. They can continue to deny and run away from whatever it is they want to run away from. But what we know is that we will follow through the processes. And by the end of the processes, whoever is vindicated, Umaru, you will hear of it. And tomorrow you will call us on the line again to find out, oh, but you said that you never transported to Golis. You never brought these people. And some of these blatant lies that he told, I got him a copy, even if it is a Beledi town, which is not true. Even if it's a Beledi land, which is not true. They are registering as Beledi. The people of Beledi are supposed to register under Beledi. So what are they doing at Vlitoji? Agotime Company is a complete Togolese town. And I tell you, Umaru, we have access to some documents. You know, recently, the Togolese had their election. And you know the way their processes are. They paste the registers on the walls. You go check your name and you go and vote. That is it. You see names reflecting on their registers and reflecting in the list of registrants that want to register in Ghana. What are we telling our people?
Very well.
What are we telling our other people?
Very well. Thank you.
Names on the police register.
Thank you, Prosper. But before you go, can you hear me? Are you there? Are you there? Prosper, can you hear me? Yeah, before you go, your colleague says you have been holding press conferences saying only people from Hohoe should be registering this particular registration period. But you are from Likpe Bala, and that you are for all intents and purposes from the Guan district. I know that constitutionally you can register in that constituency if you live there or if you live there. I just want to know what was your answer to that allegation or statement he made against you.
Umaru, AB is just sharing a total ignorance on registration process, and he does not know, to me, to a large extent, how the processes look like. I have my home, I have my family at Hohoe. I have been living in Hohoe for so many years. He has always peddled this lazy allegation and falsehoods around whenever he goes on air on the local radio station about where I come from. He is accusing people of people pointing at Muslims. He is always out there pointing figures at people. He himself is a victim of the same thing he's complaining about. He does not even come from anywhere near around this area. He has just been in this community, yet he was able to register. So what is his issue about the fact that...
Where is he from?
Oh, he's from Eastern region somewhere, and he has just come to settle here the whole of his life. So what is his problem?
Very well. Let's leave it here. Thank you.
As recently as just about some few years ago, Likpe was part of Hohoe, which today we are all fighting the way they have been removed, the way they have not been treated fairly, and he is still referring to such a situation. It tells you how desperate such individuals could be. If it is about John Peter Amewu, which you yourself have clearly defined and told us, John Pierre, the clear situation in Hohoe today, they know that the status quo today will not help John Peter Amewu.
Let's leave it
and
here.
And that is what it is that they are crazy about. That is what it is they are fighting about.
It's all right.
That they are not restful about.
Let's leave it here. Thank you so much for speaking to us.
Thank you very much, Umaru.
That's Prosper Kumi. He is Hohoe Constituent Secretary of the NDC. Earlier you heard Abednego Hari. He's first vice chairperson of the MPP for the Hohoe constituency. We're talking about the registration exercise. The Electoral Commission has announced an extension of the ongoing voters registration exercise. The exercise, initially set to end on Monday, 27th May, will continue to Wednesday, May 29, 2024. The EC, in an earlier press conference, indicated that it will not extend the date as it was sure of meeting its target of registering over 600,000 new voters. However, in a statement today, the EC said the decision to extend the exercise by 2 more days is a remedial measure to compensate for the network issues that disrupted the process during its initial 2 days process. It further said that the Commission aims to ensure that all eligible voters who wish to register are afforded the opportunity to do so. This is Eyewitness News on 97.3 Citi FM.
Eyewitness News. Be there as it happens.
In a world where only the best survives, you need a fuel that can match your drive. A fuel with unparalleled protection for your engine, superior efficiency, and unrivaled performance. A fuel so unbeatable, when you get behind the wheel, you'll focus on what really matters. The journey ahead. That fuel is Shell V-Power, because no other fuel gives your engine better protection, better efficiency, and better performance. Be unbeatable. Drive unbeatable. Shell V-Power. Shell, go well.
Are you a contractor, builder, or a proud homeowner with an eye for quality and security? Well, look no further than Yale. Yale is a trusted name in security for over 180 years. When it comes to securing your home or business, trust Yale. We make security simple, and we're right here in the heart of Accra, Ghana. Visit our stunning showroom on 11th Lane Street, Inosu, Accra, and discover a world of premium Yale products, including door hardware, handles, and door locks that will elevate the security and style of your space. Whether you're building from scratch or renovating, Yale has the perfect solution for you. Our products are known for their durability, innovation, and most importantly, your peace of mind. Visit us today and experience the Yale difference. Your security, our priority. Yale, locking in your peace of mind.
Let your voice be heard on Eyewitness News on Facebook at facebook.com/City97.3, Twitter at twitter.com/City973, and Instagram at instagram.com/City973 with the hashtag Eyewitness News.
You're welcome back. Let's do some more stories. The Ghana Integrity Initiative is mounting pressure on governments to immediately abrogate the controversial revenue mobilization deal between the Ghana Revenue Authority and the Strategic Mobilization Ghana Limited. Audit firm KPMG, in its report on the contract between SML and the Ghana Revenue Authority, revealed that GRA did not receive appropriate approvals from the Public Procurement Authority as well as Parliament. The report also outlines that SML performed partially under the contracts under review. Executive Director for GII, Mary Ada, while commenting on the issues after the release of the report, insisted that the deal has not been beneficial to the state.
I say it is a good thing because now citizens have the duty to also interrogate the report to see the nuances that were captured by the KPMG. And already we see some semblance of issues that were not captured totally in the president's white paper. And so the call that we have a reflection, a thorough reflection on what has happened. But as of now, we have indicated that this is a point when we see that the value for money for the transactions or for the contract obligations have not been totally beneficial to the state. And for that matter, as civil society, we say at this time, the president should, as a matter of agency, direct that this should come to an end. And thoroughly, apart from what KPMG has done, and it's a good thing that Parliament's Energy Commission has also assured that they are going to do a new interrogation.
You heard the Executive Director for the Ghana Integrity Initiative, Mary Ada.
This is Eyewitness News on 97.3 Citi FM. Today, the Minister of Finance, Dr. Amin Anta, addressed the press on the monthly update on the economy. And he made some statements that we just wanted to quickly test. We'll be playing the full press conference on Point Blank for those who want to hear exactly what he has been saying. But let's listen to a summary of what he said about the depreciation of the cedi.
And therefore, people may see the cedi depreciating fast recently. If you compare the depreciation year to date, from January to date, the cedi has depreciated by about 14.2%. Same time last year, it depreciated by 20.7%.
Let's go on the phone lines and speak to Joe Jackson. Joe, you're welcome to Eyewitness News.
Good evening, the cowboy journalist.
It's good to hear from you, to newly promoted CEO of Dalex Finance. I heard you announce that on Bernard's show. It's correct, CEO, correct?
That's correct.
Great.
I'm acting for now.
Oh, you don't worry. My senior anchor right to let you be confirmed, so it's fine.
Amen.
The minister says yes, there's depreciation happening, but year on year we are doing way better. Last year, this same period, it was 20% in depreciation. This time around, it's 14%. Should we applaud the cedi or the manager of the cedi?
I think that first of all, I have a lot of respect for our finance minister, and Honorable Amin is one of the more honorable gentlemen this side of town. But I think in this case, he's fudging a bit. You see, the city hit big heights in May last year, went all the way to 15 and beyond. But it came down and it stabilized. At the beginning of this year, the city was 10.99, almost 11. In May 2023. May 2023 was 10.99. Today, it is 14.432. So the year-on-year depreciation is 24%.
I don't understand. Explain that again, because the minister said the same period last year is worse than the same period or this period. Are you saying that statistically speaking, that is not accurate?
Not very accurate. I think that the minister may have gotten his figures a little wrong, right? I don't think that May of 2023, it was that kind of figure.
What statistics are you relying on?
Oh, I'm just going online to look at the Bank of Ghana rates and other quoted rates. I can give you a reference. Anybody can go to www.xe.com, put US dollar to CD rate. You see today's rate is quoted as 14.55. It comes from the central bank. And on May 24th, 2023, the quoted rate there is 10.75. On today, the quoted rate is 14.55. The depreciation is around 24%.
I see. Okay. So it means that it's not Uhuru. I mean, he admits that we are not good, but we are better. He says the CD is strong. That's the word the phrase he used. The CD is not, is it?
Oh, no. As for the CD being strong, please, you can't do that. You can't do that. We feel it, Maru. We feel it in our pockets. We feel it when we buy drugs. We feel it when we buy clothes. We feel it when we buy drinks. You feel it everywhere. You can't say that.
He's even gone ahead to advise or tell people to desist from, the purchase of forex or buying foreign currencies as a way of investment. He says there's no need for that. There's hope.
Well, hope, there's always hope. But I'm not sure that his platitudes will move the needle or move those who have enough money to buy. You see, a lot of people are living from hand to mouth. So saying that they are investing, I'm not sure who's talking to, but the high net worth people who have still have surplus CDs. I'm sure his platitudes won't move the needle with them. For the rest of us, we are living from hand to mouth, and it's a tough one.
There are fears that the CD is going to be worse by the end of the year. Is that a proper projection?
It is a legitimate fear. It is a legitimate fear. And one of the things that he talked about, which for me was significant, was that he said, he re-emphasized that this government was going to stay within the budget and not overspend, even though it is an election year. Now, that is critical. That is absolutely critical, that they stay within budget. Otherwise, all that's going to happen is that if they keep spending, there will be a lot more CDs chasing the fewer dollars, and the rate is going to get worse and worse. Remember that the value of the CD is just demand and supply. Plenty CDs chasing small dollar. That's all it means. And over time, the dollar has become scarce and the CDs become more.
So, cut down on spending, do a lot of export than import. That's a solution. But we do know that that's a very difficult one too.
It it's a more complicated than do more spending than, yesterday I was on one of your sister stations, and I made a huge argument that when you look at Ghana and the numbers, we are exporting more in value than we import.
Very well. I think we can also pray for the cedi.
The problem is really that even though we export more, we are losing out on the other things that are happening with the government expenditure and other things. One of the things we should do is make sure that we enforce local content laws so that those who are exporting bring back enough of the money to make a difference. They are not.
Thank you for speaking to us, Joe.
Thank you too.
That's Joe Jackson. He's acting chief executive of the Delex Finance. This is Eyewitness News on 97.3 Citi FM. More on what the Minister for Finance said on Point Blank. But up next is business news. But before then, Eno has a quick story.
The High Court in Accra has rendered moot an application for an injunction seeking to prevent organizers of the Dumso Vigil from converging on Revolution Square opposite the Jubilee House after it emerged that organizers have already changed their gathering point and route for the vigil. In an earlier engagement with the Greater Accra Regional Police Command, the conveners disagreed on the starting point for their protest. The police later filed an injunction against them, stating that the location was close to a security installation. In court on Friday, May 24, the case was withdrawn to accommodate the new amendment to the venue. Co-convener for Dumso Must Stop Vigil, Selam Dramani Dramado, has been addressing the media.
The Revolution Square was actually the bone of contention between us and the police. So we decided to change the venue and also to change the dates, because the choosing the Revolution Square, we actually told the public why we chose the Revolution Square. So the police insistence on us changing the venue, that the venue should be changed, we complied with Article 41I. So the police, on the back of the new letter submitted, or a recent letter submitted to them, will have to arrange a meeting or invite us for a meeting to discuss the modalities for this very one that we announced to the public through the police, of which letter they have received. There will have to be a meeting again. Given our activities with the police, they have become so predictable, and it doesn't look good on the image of an institution of that nature to be predictable.
Selam Dramani Dramado is a co-convener for Dumso Must Stop Vigil.
Eyewitness News. Be there as it happens.
There are some classy celebrations that call for whipping out your favorite China sets. Same goes for your luxury vehicle. Just any engine oil won't do. Premium understands premium best. The new Shell Helix Ultra 0W20 SP with carbon neutral properties is the one for your premium car. It's a fully synthetic motor oil designed using the Shell Pure Plus technology. Prevents dirt buildup with exceptional cleaning power, leaving your pistons cleaner than a whistle, up to 50% more than the industry standard, and gives you stronger, long-lasting engine performance. So, if you want your classic car to run smoothly like a Ferrari for years to come, use the Shell Helix Ultra 0W20 SP with carbon neutral properties. Shell Helix Ultra 0W20 SP, designed for ultimate engine performance.
KB, aka Kubeboga, now drives a Bugatti. He can even travel by road from Accra to London. Wow! KB's source of wealth is agriculture. Yes, coconut business. After losing his bank job, he started supplying coconuts at events. Now, he owns large coconut plantations and employs many young people. Charlie, we all need to trust the process, because hope days.
There has never been a better time to enter into agribusiness. Take a bold step today with the Ghana Grows program, because every step pays. Ejuma Wokro, Ghana Grows, Hope Day, an initiative of the MasterCard Foundation in partnership with Springboard Roadshow Foundation and Limehouse.
If home is where the heart is, then let's go home, shall we? Let's go where the entertainment is. where the passion is. Where the laughter is. And sometimes, even the tears too. Let's go where we feel safe enough to share our opinions.
And send tweets.
Where we do that embarrassing little dance to our favorite song. Let's go home where the love, the care, and the joy live.
There's no place like home. Connect your home to super fast internet with affordable data bundles from MTN Home. Visit broadband.mtn.com.gh or your My MTN app to sign up today. MTN.
You know your Papa see that? And it's rickety car. Hey, Papa! Bobo, so how your engine now? It is half man, half amazing. Thanks to Cause and you can feel better energy. Can't touch this. Actually, guys, so Sancho's engine just died like that. Yes, so somebody managed to convince him that there is a better engine oil than Quartz, and he switched. Sancho Panza. Now, which engine oil can be better than Quartz? No other, my guy. Quartz with its age-resistant technology, it keeps your engine younger for longer. Now you know. Have you guys seen the new bottle design? It's superb. Quartz 9000 from Total Energies there improves fuel efficiency. Why do you think Mr. Mane and Logoso have taken the Quartz Nation Movement World Cup like that? Sorry. Chairman. Hey, Quartz. Keep your engine younger for longer.
Eyewitness News. Be there as it happens.
Get the details. Every significant financial transaction, every market movement, and all the policies that affect your business. City Business News. Be informed.
Time now for City Business News on Eyewitness News, brought to you by GCB Bank PLC. GCB Personal Loan, make that big move and dream a reality. My name is Inosafa. Let's settle for the details. Government has assured of expediting the process of evaluating the received draft Memorandum of Understanding from its official creditors for subsequent presentation to the IMF. This comes as government has officially received the final MOU on the country's debt from the Official Creditors Committee this week. The document, transmitted on May 23, 2024, through the Official Creditor Committee to the government, marks a pivotal moment. Speaking at a press conference in Accra, Finance Minister Dr. Mohammed Amin Adam emphasized the government's commitment to swiftly evaluating the document for subsequent presentation to the IMF.
On 12 January 2024, prior to the IMF Executive Board approval of the first review of the fund program, Ghana received financing assurance upon reaching an agreement in principle with the Official Creditor Committee. This, as we have reported over and over, would deliver significant debt relief to our country. But I'm happy, ladies and gentlemen, to announce that we have moved beyond agreement in principle. As of yesterday, 23rd May 2024, we officially received the draft Memorandum of Understanding from the Official Creditor Committee. The government, therefore, with support from our financial and legal advisors, will quickly review this draft agreement with a view to finalizing and signing the agreement with the OCC as soon as possible.
He also announced that government is set to inject about 2.3 billion Ghana cedis for the recapitalization of the National Investment Bank, with the first tranche of 400 million Ghana cedis to be disbursed to the bank by end of May.
As part of the implementation of the PCPEC, Cabinet has approved the plan for restructuring and recapitalization of the National Investment Bank. This will require a program of about 2.3 billion Ghana cedis, and this will be done over the next 12 months. The first tranche of 400 million Ghana cedis is expected to be transferred to the National Investment Bank before the end of this month, May 2024. And this demonstrates our commitment to implementing the recapitalization and restructuring program for NIB. The plan also includes measures to strengthen the governance structure. Government has intervened in NIB in the past, and therefore this time around, this intervention, the capital intervention, is going to be backed by governance reforms in NIB.
Dr. Mohammed Amin Adam is Minister for Finance. Now, the Human Rights Court, or the Accra High Court, has dismissed the claims made by Food Sovereignty Ghana regarding the work conducted by the National Biosafety Authority on genetically modified products. Justice Barbara Tetechawe ruled that the plaintiffs failed to provide sufficient evidence to support their claims. Food Sovereignty Ghana, along with 3 other groups, sought declarations on whether the necessary processes and laws were followed in the plans to commercialize GMOs. However, the court held that the Biosafety Authority hadn't yet released any GM products for commercialization, as they were still engaged in extensive research and community sensitization. Justice Tetechawe ordered the labeling of all genetically modified products on the market to inform consumers and requested relevant data on BT cowpea brought in from the Nigerian market. The detailed judgment on the case initiated in 2015 will be provided by the court at a later date. Production of semi-finished and finished cocoa products, including liquor, butter, chocolates, spread and pebbles by the Cocoa Processing Company is declining due to the company's inability to raise revenue to increase the processing of cocoa beans. The production of these products is falling at a time when the company has already recorded a $6 million loss in the first quarter of 2024. Here is more.
The financials of the Cocoa Processing Company show that as of March 2024, the company has already posted a $6 million loss compared to the $5 million recorded same period last year. This increased deficit driven by exposures in foreign currency risk on sales, purchases and borrowings, which are largely dollar denominated. Some operational and administrative expenses, including staff costs, went up by $100,000. The company has not been able to change its strategy in capital maintenance from last year. In terms of production proper, processed cocoa beans fell by 50%. Production of cocoa liquor, butter and powder fell from 3,000 to 1,400 metric tons. Confectionery like chocolates, spread and pebbles declined by 30%. Failure of management to be strategic in its operational efficiencies at a time of high global cocoa prices and dwindling cocoa production in Ghana could lead to the shortage of these items on the market.
You heard a news desk report by Citi Business News' Ni Latte. Effective 30th June 2024, scratch cards from MTN Ghana, which were introduced in 2020, will be totally phased out. This means that customers who still have unused MTN scratch cards cannot recharge them after 1st July 2024. There's more in the following news desk report.
In a statement released by the company on Thursday, May 23, 2024, Chief Sales and Distribution Officer Samuel Addo noted that customers can, however, redeem the value of their scratch cards via credit transfer at any MTN Customer Experience Center. The company notes that the move is in line with MTN's strategy to lead digital solutions in Ghana and beyond and aligns with the government of Ghana's digitalization agenda. He further stated that the phasing out of the scratch cards is one of the avenues to help protect the environment, empower customers to drive digital usage, and make customer service delivery more efficient. Meanwhile, the Bank of Ghana, in its 2024 first quarter fintech sector report, noted that airtime top-up accounted for 18% of mobile money volume transactions.
You heard a news desk report on MTN Ghana scratch cards being phased out effective June 30. Now, the operational viability of Ghana Gas Limited Company may soon face challenges due to its indebtedness. The Ghana National Petroleum Corporation for the supply of raw gas. That's the caution from Public Interest and Accountability Committee. This is in spite of various mechanisms in place to offset the debt owed the country's national oil company.
The cumulative indebtedness of the Ghana National Gas Limited Company to the Ghana National Petroleum Corporation for the supply of raw gas stood at over $604 million at the end of December 2023, which was a 7.8% increment on the cumulative stock of debt of over $560 million recorded at the end of 2022. According to PIAC's report, the Ghana National Gas Limited Company attributed the rise in its indebtedness to GNPC primarily due to the inability of the Volta River Authority to meet its debt service obligations. To address the associated systemic risks, part of the outstanding balance has been reclassified as energy sector legacy debt. This means that a portion of the debt will be retired by inflows from the energy sector levy. Despite this intervention, the growth of stock in debt trended upwards. PIAC observed that this situation, if it persists, would pose a grave risk to the country's energy sector. PIAC's report on the operations of the Ghana National Gas Limited Company noted that the bulk of the country's indigenous gas presently is used for power generation, with about 13% used for non-power activities.
That was a news desk report by Citi Business News' Daniel Sakite. That's all for Citi Business News on Eyewitness News. The business news on Eyewitness News is brought to you by GCB Bank PLC. GCB Personal Loan, make that big move and dream a reality. My name is Inosafo. Up next is Point Blank.
Let your voice be heard on Eyewitness News on Facebook at facebook.com/Citi97.3, Twitter at twitter.com/Citi973, and Instagram at instagram.com/Citi973 with the hashtag Eyewitness News.
KB, aka Kubeboga, now drives a Bugatti. He can even travel by road from Accra to London. Wow! KB's source of wealth is agriculture. Yes, coconut business. After losing his bank job, he started supplying coconuts at events. Now, he owns large coconut plantations and employs many young people. Charlie, we all need to trust the process, because hope days.
There has never been a better time to enter into agribusiness. Take a bold step today with the Ghana Grows program, because every step pays. Ejuma Wokro, Ghana Grows, Hope Day, an initiative of the MasterCard Foundation in partnership with Springboard Roadshow Foundation and Limehouse.
Are you feeling tired after a hard day's work? Have you lost your appetite even for your favorite dish? Viral Blood Tonic is a nutritionally balanced, pleasant-tasting tonic fortified with iron and vitamins to boost your appetite and energy levels for high performance. Viral Blood Tonic, easy to take and good for the whole family. Viral from Danex Iting Starwin PLC. If symptoms persist after 48 hours, consult a physician. This advert is FDA approved.
You know your papa see that? And it's rickety car. Hey, papa! Bobo, so how your engine now? It is half man, half amazing. Thanks to Quartz and you can feel better energy. Can't touch this. Actually, guys, so Sancho's engine just died like that? Yes, so somebody managed to convince him that there is a better engine oil than Quartz, and he switched. Sancho Panza. Now, which engine oil can be better than Quartz? No other, my guy. Quartz with its age-resistant technology, it keeps your engine younger for longer. Now you know. Have you guys seen the new bottle design? It's superb. Quartz 9000 from Total Energies there improves fuel efficiency. Why do you think Mr. Mane and Logoso have taken the Quartz Nation movement World Cup like that? Sorry. Chairman. Hey, Quartz. Keep your engine younger for longer.
Eyewitness News. Be there as it happens.
Eyewitness News, my name is Umaru Sandamade. Tonight on Point Blank, we're going back to the Ministry of Finance. The Minister, Dr. Amin Anta, addressed the media on his monthly updates on the economy. And these are some of the things he said.
$, to Ghana Exim Bank and Ghana Commercial Bank, GCB, by EBIT, ECOWAS Bank for Investment and Development, later in the year. Hence, of course, again, what is known to us, the expected 2024-2025 cocoa syndication proceeds in the fourth quarter of this year. They will all crystallize and come together to support the build-up of the reserves in order to strengthen the cedi as well as support the budget in the implementation of government programs. And so, ladies and gentlemen, in all, we're expecting total disbursements of at least $2.32 billion before the end of the year, to add to the significant foreign exchange reserves already built up by the Bank of Ghana. And on this basis, I wish to assure the Ghanaian people that there is enough foreign exchange supply in the market. Hence, there is no need to rush to buy forex. There is enough foreign exchange on the market, and we will continue to ensure that the supply is sustained, if not even increased. Ladies and gentlemen, the fiscal consolidation program is holding. As primary balance on commitment basis improved by about 4 percentage points to a deficit of 0.3% of GDP at the end of 2023. Preliminary fiscal data for first quarter of this year showed that the primary balance on commitment basis was a deficit of 0.6% of GDP against the deficit target of 0.2% of GDP, largely on the back of delays in the implementation of some of the 2024 revenue measures approved for the 2024 budget. We plan to fast-track revenue mobilization in subsequent quarters to enable us to achieve our primary balance target of a surplus of 0.5% in 2024 and 1.5% of GDP in the 2025-2028 period. In addition, we are working to restore debt sustainability by 2028. The public debt trajectory is already showing signs of improvement as the debt to GDP ratio reduced to 71.4% of GDP at the end of 2023 from 73.5% of GDP at the end of 2022. We have also strengthened our social protection interventions to ensure that the poor and the most vulnerable are protected from the impact of the economic difficulties and adjustment. We've doubled, for example, the benefits under the Livelihood Empowerment Against Poverty program. And we've done this 2 years in a row. We've also indexed the program, the LEAP benefits, to inflation, so that the effect of inflation does not wipe off the benefits the LEAP delivers to our people. We have also increased the benefit under the Ghana School Feeding program by 25%. And we have also increased allocation to the National Health Insurance Scheme by more than 40%. In addition to this, we have increased the allocation to the capitation grant by 25% to support basic education. So, ladies and gentlemen, as we implement the fiscal consolidation, we have not forgotten of the poor and the vulnerable. Ours is to promote inclusive growth. And this is demonstrated by the increasing spending that we are seeing in these social interventions for our people. As part of the implementation of the PCPEC, ladies and gentlemen, Cabinet has approved the plan for restructuring and recapitalization of the National Investment Bank. This will require a program of about 2.3 billion Ghana cedis. And this will be done over the next 12 months. The first tranche of 400 million Ghana cedis is expected to be transferred to the National Investment Bank before the end of this month, May 2024. And this demonstrates our commitment to implementing the recapitalization and restructuring program for NIB. The plan also includes measures to strengthen the governance structure. Government has intervened in NIB in the past, and therefore this time around, this intervention, the capital intervention, is going to be backed by governance reforms in NIB in order to assure us and the people of Ghana that their money, your money, that we are putting into NIB will be managed and managed well. Some of the governance reforms will include strengthening the structure and operational efficiency of the bank, enhance supervision, and also to improve risk management to sustain the financial viability of the bank. We will continue to implement strong and ambitious structural reforms in other areas of public resource or public financial management, including tax policy, revenue administration, and other relevant reforms that will support the structural strengthening of our economy, as well as helping to address structural weaknesses and to enhance our resilience to shocks. Ladies and gentlemen, we are making remarkable progress towards restoration of macroeconomic stability and economic recovery. And we are not going to relent. In spite of the fiscal pressures, including security spending to maintain peace and order, we are determined to hold the line to ensure that we meet our fiscal targets for the year. We will not hesitate to make any necessary adjustment that will ensure that we do not deviate from the fiscal path. Now let me give you updates on the debt restructuring. You may recall that we successfully concluded the domestic debt exchange program in 2023, following the launch of the government's comprehensive debt restructuring operation in December 2022. We are now at the final stages of completing the external debt restructuring program as well. Since the debt restructuring program began, government financing sources have been limited to treasury bills. Market participants have, however, raised concerns about the relatively high rates of T-bills compared to the pre-DDEP interest rates. But I want to assure them on two fronts. We have successfully paid 2 bullet coupons, each of about 6 billion Ghana cedis for the domestic DDEP. And we want to assure the market, come August 2024, the third coupon will also be honored. We will continue to honor our obligations and on time. I want to give the market this assurance. The second assurance is that lower portfolio risk with regard to the average weighted interest rate, which we have achieved under the DD program, is one of the strongest features of the program. The pre-DDEP weighted average interest rate was around 21%. This has, however, reduced by 7.5 percentage points to around 13.5%. And this we achieved on account of a relatively small weight of the short-term instruments in the entire public debt portfolio. Let me even add a third assurance. We are all seeing signs of economic stabilization emerging, and the government, as I have already enumerated, has made significant progress in stabilizing the macroeconomy on the back of increasing growth, improved primary and fiscal balance, declining interest rates and inflation, albeit some instability in the exchange rate arising mainly from seasonal factors and the strengthening of the dollar, as I indicated earlier. We are therefore confident of locking in these positive gains in the near term with a further reduction in these key economic aggregates to improve domestic market sentiments post-DDEP. And so, for market participants, this is our assurance to you. Ladies and gentlemen, as you may further recall, we also launched 2 external debt operations, the official bilateral creditors debt restructuring and the commercial creditors debt restructuring. In December 2022, Ghana requested for debt treatment under the G20 Common Framework. This framework was first adopted in 2020 as one of the most important decisions by the G20 and endorsed by the Paris Club for 73 eligible developing countries. Currently, 4 countries have requested this debt treatment, including Ghana. Financing assurances were given by the Official Creditor Committee, established as part of the Common Framework. On 12 January 2024, prior to the IMF Executive Board approval of the first review of the fund program, Ghana received financing assurance upon reaching an agreement in principle with the Official Creditor Committee. This, as we have reported over and over, would deliver significant debt relief to our country. But I'm happy, ladies and gentlemen, to announce that we have moved beyond agreement in principle. As of yesterday, 23rd May 2024, we officially received the draft Memorandum of Understanding from the Official Creditor Committee. The government, therefore, with support from our financial and legal advisors, will quickly review this draft agreement with a view to finalizing and signing the agreement with the OCC as soon as possible. And so for all of those who have been waiting, and as of, I believe last week, I read from the front pages, of some of our media houses, indicating that Ghana received the draft MOU. I can imagine your anticipation. And so I'm happy to say that we have now formally received the draft MOU. And we are going to work harder and quickly to round up the negotiation and sign the MOU. Ladies and gentlemen, we have, in a very constructive manner, also made significant and good progress on our Euro bond holders. It is important to note that we are operating under a complex set of constraints as part of the IMF debt sustainability thresholds. And this formed the context and basis of discussions for a mutual understanding of the financial parameters with our Euro bond holders. We've held several rounds of negotiations on proposals and counter-proposals on the Euro bond treatment. This led to a series of restrictive discussions for about 3 weeks, just before the IMF spring meetings, which ended successfully on the 15th of April 2024. At the end of these discussions, we ended with very narrow differences between our position and those of the bondholders. But let me assure you that considerable progress is being made towards a constructive solution that will be acceptable to all parties. It is for this reason that we are rather confident and more optimistic that we can continue to work together on solutions that would deliver an acceptable compromise for all stakeholders, both the government party and the bondholders. We are determined to reach an agreement with our bondholders and our commercial creditors as well on terms that are consistent with the IMF program parameters. And we will put all our efforts towards attaining that objective in the coming weeks. Let me now touch on SME growth and the Open Opportunity Program. Ladies and gentlemen, As it stands, SMEs in Ghana account for 92% of existing companies, 85% of manufacturing jobs, and 70% of GDP. Within that context, our small and medium enterprises represent a significant opportunity for providing growth and employment that is sustainable, inclusive, and impactful.
So that's the Minister of Finance, Dr. Amin Adam, speaking to journalists at his monthly Meet the Press, where he gives an update on the economy. That will be it for Eyewitness News tonight. My name is Umaru Sanda Amado. I did this with Eno Safo. Production by Kwabna Wilson, Beverly London, and Sami Wiafe. Technical support from Daniel Squashi. New media support from Edwin Kwakofi. We'll be back tomorrow at 17:30. Not tomorrow, Monday. At 17:30 GMT. Up next is Sports Panorama with the City Sports team. Stay with us.